Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today, we're going to be talking Volkswagen all the time, every time. In fact, this entire show is going to be about this one particular situation. And if you've been living under a rock and don't know about this whole scandal that's been going on, I'll bring you up to speed. It's been just a touch under a week since it was found out that turbo diesel engines in the Volkswagen group could not pass the United States EPA, the actual emission numbers that these vehicles have to pass to actually gain access for sale in the United States. Apparently not for 100% sure what exactly took place. Whether Volkswagen had developed 7 or 8 years ago this particular new turbo diesel engine and it didn't actually perform at the performance numbers that they wanted, maybe even the drivability, even the fuel economy numbers, and inside of those EPA numbers. So they actually developed a program inside of the vehicle which would actually figure out whether it's being tested or not. And if the vehicle thought it was being tested, it would actually go into this full, I don't know what to call it, but it was a full mode as far as the mapping was concerned that would just basically mean it could pass the test with flying colors. But as soon as it was out and about, this vehicle would put out the amount of emissions that was 10, 15, 20, 30, maybe even 50 times the EPA allowable numbers. So this is not something to laugh about, because this noxious gas that it was putting out right out of the old tailpipe is something that is the direct cause of upper respiratory failure inside of humans. This is a huge deal now. And this is on the heels of Toyota's whole sudden independent acceleration deal, not to mention General Motors' huge deal with the ignition switch failure. So this is something I can't believe that was actually going on. So now for up to 6 years that these engines are being built, they've been having this particular issue. And the sheer fact that Volkswagen never tried, with all their resources, with all their smarts and everything else that they have at their disposal, to ever try to fix this engine, that they just will continue to allow it to be sold inside of the United States market. And for all the people, Volkswagen fans, who are beating their chest, showing off pictures all over the interwebs of big diesel pickup trucks with huge plumes of smoke, get over it, guys. Those trucks are in a completely different cycle as far as emission standards. That is, this engine, which is a quote-unquote clean diesel. I mean, really, this is really getting kind of out of hand on the old interwebs, as a lot of stuff gets out of hand on the old interwebs. That being said, I cannot wrap my brain around why they haven't fixed this. If it just happened for a couple of years and then they fixed the power plant and just went on, they could just went, whoops, something happened, we don't know what happened, but we fixed it. It's no big deal now. But this is just a bizarre deal. And the fact that they lied to the U.S. government. This is going to be a huge fine indeed. In fact, the first domino, and in fact the effects of this, has happened the morning of the taping of this program. This is Martin Winterkorn, which was, and to quote I say was, CEO of Volkswagen Group, as he has resigned the morning of the taping of this program. In fact, this got me thinking about the power struggle between this guy, Martin Winterkorn, in this particular picture in the background. In the foreground, Ferdinand Piëch, who was the CEO just a handful of months ago for the Volkswagen Group. There was a huge power struggle. Piëch wanted Winterkorn out, but the board of directors really liked Winterkorn and wanted to keep him. It ended up making Ferdinand Piëch actually step down, which means that he may have dodged the ultimate bullet in getting around this whole situation, because he's not CEO of this group when this whole deal went down. Now, Martin Winterkorn there, he was actually the head of the technical group that was over that computer design back 6 years ago. So this guy's had his hands all over it. But don't feel real bad for Martin, because you know what? He'll land on his feet. Because when you get to the upper echelons of being the highest of the high ends of folks inside of companies, he'll be able to get a job. Even if he was drowned in baby kittens and Smurf urine, he could still get a job in a handful of weeks later in another company who is hungry to get back on the right track. So the only thing I could say about Volkswagen heading forward is it is a bizarre situation. Volkswagen has already put aside $7.3 billion to help out with this situation. But this may just be a drop in the bucket, because we're hearing reports of somewhere between $20-25 billion fine for this deal. Not to mention that there's not only the United States, but there's 5 other countries that are looking into this because they think possibly they may not be able to pass, they being Volkswagen, be able to pass those stringent EPA style numbers inside of their countries as well. This is a story that is not going to go away, and it's just going to get more and more bizarre. I still can't wrap my brain around it, but we'll keep you in tune when we hear more about it. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, the link's down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.